What's going on, y'all? It's your boy J Miles, the Credit Chief, and I want to give some advice. So, if you didn't know, I'm currently in the military, 20 plus years in the Navy, but I want to shoot this video for anybody that's new to the Navy or are within their first 4 years. And honestly, this can be for anybody, regardless of how long you've been in the Navy, but I'm directing this more towards individuals that's been in the Navy, not too long, right? E3 and below, E4, maybe E5 and below. 2, 3 years, brand new, still kind of getting your feet wet, right? Financial advice. So, just a quick story. I was talking to a junior sailor, or yesterday, female. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter the gender, but she was pregnant. And we were just talking, right, just chilling, and I was breaking down a lot of information to her. I was giving her a lot of financial and credit, just gems. And it's crazy because I'm seeing her mind just like, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. She was kind of in awe, and just really her head just started, working, because she's just hearing the advice and the tips that I'm giving her that she's never heard before, and how it can better help her situation. So her situation is, she currently has $25,000 in credit card debt, and she also just purchased a brand new car, and the car note is $800 plus. I'm taking this hat off. Her car is $800 plus a month, and I think she had some student loan debt. But I'm like, wow. She told me she was an E3, not too long in the Navy, and she's just kind of going through some things. And in my head, I'm like, how did you get into $25,000 in credit card debt? And why did you buy a car that is $800 a month? Because as an E3, she says she makes about $1,500 every 2 weeks. Now that can, be up or down depending on your zip code you live in, right? Your allowances, if you got dependents or not, right? The pay is, similar for most, but different, depending on your situation. But in her case, she said $1,500 a month. Every 2 weeks, so about $3,000 a month. And I'm like, this is crazy. And she was like, yeah, it's made some bad decisions, blah, 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 blah. So I say this to say, parents, we have to start getting into our kids' ears and their minds very quickly at a young age. I'm not a parent yet, but I hope to be a parent soon, right? But I will definitely be teaching my kids about finances and credit and everything as soon as I can, right? I think most people underestimate kids and their ability to learn things. And you already know that kids are very smart, right? They pick up stuff very easy. We see them picking up bad words. We see them picking up dances. We see them picking up scenes from a movie, right? When I was young, I knew every movie. I knew every song that came on the radio at a very young age, right? When I learned the movie, I knew the movie back and forth, top to bottom, in and out. So people are very smart at a young age, but we refuse to talk about the stuff that's going to help them as an adult. I'm not telling you to give them a college degree when they're 3 years old, 5 years old, but we can start teaching them the basics. I've seen tons of videos of people teaching their kids terminology, how to count, stuff like that. But when we let these kids grow up when they're 18, 19, 20, and they don't know anything about credit, they don't know anything about saving. She didn't have no retirement account. She barely had anything going into her TSP, her thrift savings plan, which is a retirement account. right? She's not paying herself first at all. As soon as she get paid, she's paying all that money into her car, and she's paying all that money into her credit card. Because the credit card minimum balance is like $600, like $600 for a credit card, and that $600, most of that is interest, and then she's paying $800 a month for a car, and whatever else she plans to do, because she's young, so she's probably out there, having fun, entertainment, right, movies, going out to eat, blah blah blah. I asked her if she had a written budget. She said no, so she don't even know how much money she has going out of her pocket every single month. So I told her the first thing you need to do is establish a budget. How much money you got coming in and how much money you got going out, right? That's the first thing she needs to do. And then the second, and she says she has a business too. Her and her significant other has a business, which is great. It's awesome. But you obviously not allocating your money in the right direction, the right places. So if you have a business, right, and you have a guaranteed paycheck from the Navy, then there's no reason why you can't you're not able to stay out of debt and manage your money right. But guess what? We're not taught this as kids. We're not taught this in a home. We're not sitting at the dinner table no more talking about money. Most people don't even like to talk about money or how much you owe, what's your debt. It's like a freaking secret. It's like, oh, I don't want nobody to know my business, right? So I encourage, if you're a parent, to start teaching your child at a very young age about finances, about credit, about budgeting, about how to manage your money. Tell them about a high yield savings account, right? Tell them what credit is, what makes your credit, why is it good to have credit, what things you need credit for, right? Because if you tell a kid or a young adult what you need credit for, then they're going to be more mindful on establishing good credit and making sure their credit stays good. Now, when it comes to being in the military, this is even more crucial, because now we're letting these 18, 19, 20-year-olds join the military, not just the Navy, the military, and out of boot camp, they're offered credit cards. Out of boot camp, they offer credit cards. Majority of people don't even know anything about a credit card or how to use a credit card properly. So we're giving these fresh out of high school students, kids, people, right, a credit card right off the bat, and they don't even get taught in boot camp how to use a credit card, right? We let them go into the fleet. We let them go into the military and live a life, right? Live like adults. But we're not teaching them how to be adults. They teach you how to be a sailor, a marine, a soldier, an airman, right? But we're not taught, or Coast Guard men, I think they're called sailors, I can't remember. But at the same time, we're not teaching them how to be an adult, how to manage your money. Why did anybody allow this young lady to go out and purchase a car that's going to cost her $800 a month when we know that her income is only $3,000 a month? That doesn't make any sense. The military, I think, in my opinion, I wish the military would come out with a policy that eliminates that does not allow people to rack up so much debt so fast. Once you get to a certain point, then we need to put some policies in place to not let them go further, because it's the same as us parents or us people allowing our kids to go to college and rack up thousands of dollars in debt with no guaranteed degree, no guaranteed job, but they can get into debt right away. It's like, why do we think we see so many homeless people on the street, with so many homeless veterans on the street? Because we're not teaching them about financial literacy. In the military, I can only talk about the Navy. In the Navy, we barely talk about finances. We don't talk about managing money. You have something called a command financial specialist, but they do a training like once every few months, you know what I mean? And they go about their business. They got to hit their little wickets and they move on. But There's nobody forcing these kids to go see their command financial specialist. Only if only when it's too late. Only when it's too late, or when they're transferring. What happened to the middle time? If you had a command for 4 years, you're not. Nobody's making these people go see the command financial specialist to see, hey, how you doing? How much debt you're in? Did you get a new car? Or guess what? You getting ready to get a new car? How about this? You can't go get a new car unless you have a person with you that's knowledgeable in getting a car. You're not allowed to go get a car, or if you are allowed to get a car, you're not allowed to get a car this much money, because we have to put something in place to protect our military personnel. Because think about it, once somebody gets into so much debt, they're stressing. Now you're probably going late, right? Because you can't afford the payments, right? You probably got charge offs, and now you got collection companies calling you. You're not focused at work right now. You're not focused at work. You're focused on, how can I get out this debt? What do I need to do? Now you think about doing something illegal because you don't want to get kicked out the military. You don't want to lose your job. In the military, if you go into so much debt and your debt to income ratio gets out of whack, then certain jobs you can lose, certain positions you can lose. But why would you even allow them to put themselves in that position to lose a job when we can just put policies and things in place to check on these military personnel more often, and make them tell you what debt they're in and what their expenses are? Yes, I understand we're young and we're gonna make young people mistakes, but it shouldn't be allowed in the military. And as a parent having kids, if you have kids, you need to teach them the right and wrong about finances. And if you don't know, if you lack the knowledge, then you need to start studying so you can teach them. But it's ridiculous when I heard her story, $25,000 in credit card debt because of bad decisions or something, and an $800 car note. That's ridiculous. She shouldn't even been allowed to buy that car as an E3 in the military, right? She shouldn't be allowed to buy that type of car. Now I know most people don't want the type of car that costs $400 or $500 a month. That's not the cool car. I see so many junior people out here driving Hellcats and Audis and BMWs. These car notes are $800, $900, $1,000 a month, and we just letting them ride around with this. Nobody's checking them, asking what's going on, what their car note is. Heck no, you need to go sell that car, you need to go turn it back in, or nothing. But then we get mad when they can't make it to work because they don't have the money for gas. We get mad because they're going in so much debt, and now they got to pick another job. But what do we do ahead of time? What do we put in place to make sure these kids don't do that, right? So I encourage you, if you're a parent of a young adult, start teaching them as soon as possible about financial literacy, about credit, and about debt, good debt and bad debt, investing, saving, right? Emergency funds, the budgeting, the basic stuff. And in the military, if you're a military personnel, talk to your junior people. Talk to them more often about this, right? Put things in place so they won't run wild with these credit cards, because this is money that they never had before. They don't know what to do, right? So, and if you're a junior personnel in the military, I highly encourage you not to get a car until you really, really need it, right? Carpool from friends for a while. Wait till you get to a certain rank that you're able to afford a good, decent car. If you feel like you need to get a car, which is understandable, get a used car, or save up some money until you're able to pay a car cash. The car I got now, $15,000. I saved up to $15,000 and I bought it cash. Now I have no car note, and all I gotta do now is maintain the maintenance and the insurance. Very cheap. Because guess what? You're gonna go on deployment, and you're gonna have this $800 car note sitting in the parking lot, collecting dust, going flat because you're on a 6, 7, 8 month deployment somewhere, and you still got all this money coming out your pocket. Versus having a car paid for cash, you have no car note. You're saving all this money, and now you can come back and invest into a property or something, right? And you should always be paying yourself first. So when the military pays you, you should pay yourself first. Put money into your TSP. Get you a Roth IRA. Put money into that. Cap that out, and then live off of the rest. Make you an emergency fund, 6 to 8 months of expenses. Right? You're getting a guaranteed paycheck, so pay yourself first into your retirement accounts, into your emergency fund, and everything like that. Then you live off of that, but live below your means. If you're E3, live like an E2. If you're E5, live like an E4 or E3. If you're E6, live like, E5 or E4. If you're a chief, live like you was E6 or E5. But because once you get out the military, you want to be set up for success. We can't do that when we trying to live like our rank, right? It's gonna be difficult. Believe me. So many people get out and don't have no plan and no money saved up. Some people come back from deployments and don't have no money saved up because their spending habits is horrible. They're not paying themselves first, right? And they got these super high car notes at home. And if you're living in an apartment, same thing. Live below your means. But it just hurt me when I heard her story. I'm trying to drop so much knowledge and gem to her at one sitting that is, I mean, I can go on and on about it, but I know that you can only give somebody so much information before they kind of just, before they dump stuff. So, um, just focus. Parents, let's get better at teaching our kids about financial literacy, about credit. Junior sailor leadership in the military. Let's talk to our troops. Let's talk to our sailors. Let's talk to our soldiers and make sure they're good to go. Start educating them on your own about that. If your military, if your command is not really focused on that, because again, you want their money to be good so they can focus on work and they can focus on getting qualified to do their job. And if you're new to the military, don't be in a hurry to get a car. You don't have to. You don't have to keep up with the Joneses. You don't have to get the newest whip. You don't have to get the newest anything. Right? Save up to get what you want. Build your credit. Learn how to use a credit card. Right? It's okay to have credit cards if you know how to use them, but learn how to use a credit card. Learn what you need to do to build your credit, and then start investing as soon as possible. Start saving as soon as possible. Build your emergency fund before you go get anything. Right? This is your boy J Miles, the Credit Chief. I hope y'all out there listening. I hope y'all paying attention. Please share this video with somebody who may need to hear it. Like and subscribe to my channel, because we out here helping people, y'all. Talk to y'all soon.